Can you give your friend a ship? How about a multi-tool? What about a whole base? Those are excellent questions, and the answers are yes, not exactly, and well, kinda. And that makes you ask, how? What do you mean, not exactly, and a whole base? Come on. GoodGuysFree here with the complete answers. Let's start with bases. You can't pass ownership on an existing base. Period. You can build a base for another player. Link to my video on this is in the description. But you and that player must be online in the same system for this during the whole build time. There are also tricks with manually editing save files, but that's risky and I don't recommend it. Multitool, the straightforward answer is no, you can't. There is no way to give another player your multitool or a copy of one. The only thing you can do is direct them to the planet where you found it and the exact location. I have a series of videos showing my search for an Atlantid multitool, and each time I found an A-class tool, I left a save beacon and a message ball at the spot so people can find them. See the description for links on how to find multitools. So, you found an amazing ship and your friend really wants one just like that. How can you give your friend a ship? There are 4 different kinds of ships in the game. Authenticated starships are ships that the game's RNG, random number generator, has rolled the dice and created. They can be flown by NPCs into space stations or trading posts, in pirate battles, or they can be found crashed on planets. Unauthenticated starships are ships that someone built from parts in the space station's starship fabricator. Reward ships are ships that you received for completing an expedition. Notice that Twitch reward ships are actually just authenticated ships, but they're usually not so exciting, so who cares? Lastly, there are a few cases of ships that have been created by editing your save file or by exploiting various glitches in the game. Let's start with explaining the basic mechanisms that allow you to give a ship to your friend. The most common way works regardless of platform you're on and the platform your friend is on. This method has the following steps. One of you loads his game and the other joins this game by selecting Join Friends. The receiver loads the save file where they want to have the ship. The player that gives the ship loads the save file that has the ship. Of course, multiplayer must be enabled. Once you are playing together, fly to the nearby space station. Exit your ships. The receiver goes and stands in front of the gift ship. The player giving the ship goes to an NPC that just landed and sells his ship to the NPC by selecting Exchange Ship. This causes the NPC to appear near the gift ship. Now the receiver walks and talks to the NPC and buys the ship from them. Unfortunately, this means that the ship becomes C-class and all the tech is gone, but no worries. You can store all the tech in your suit before the sale and give it to your friend to reinstall after the sale. As for the ship class, the receiver can simply change his difficulty so that all purchases are free and go ahead and upgrade the ship to his heart's content. This method works for any ship you currently have, no exceptions. If you have a ship that you built and you want to give it, you could theoretically find the same parts, give them to your friend, and have them assemble the same ship. Many players who actively buy and scrap ships for parts have spares, so it's a viable option. If you happen to find the ship on a planet or bought it from an NPC in the first place, you could give your friend the glyphs and coordinates, and just like with multitools, they can find another copy of the same ship. If you didn't keep a record of where you found the ship, which seems more likely, you can always use Reddit. There are 2 nice subreddits, NMS Coordinate Exchange and NMS Glyph Exchange. Both have locations of ships, multitools, and more. So, how do you make a copy of your ship? If there happens to be an expedition going on, you're in luck. You can summon the ship you want to give to make it active and then start the expedition from your save and play until you reach the point in the expedition that you can summon the space anomaly. Go to the expedition terminal and copy the ship from the main save into the expedition. Yes, that costs nanites, so you'll need to obtain some ahead of time. Probably around 2,000 should be enough. Then use the expedition terminal to pause the expedition and return to your regular save. Now go again to the expedition terminal and you can make a copy of the ship from the expedition, which happens to be the same one as the one you copied into the expedition. Beeblebum made a video just for that. This method works for any ship, but notice some special cases. If you want to give someone a copy of an expedition reward ship, you don't have to copy the ship into the expedition. When you get to the expedition terminal in the anomaly, you will be able to claim your past expedition rewards inside the expedition, and then you can return to your main save and copy it from the expedition, making you have 2 copies or more if you wish. If you want to give someone a Twitch reward ship, you need to claim it in your main save, copy it into the expedition, then copy it back out, because it is not possible to claim Twitch rewards inside an expedition. And what if there isn't an active expedition, huh? Well, the basic rule still applies. You can start a whole new game, play until you reach the anomaly, claim the ship you want, and then let your friend join your game. So all this feels like a lot of hassle? Play the game to the point you can summon the anomaly, obtain enough nanites, etc.? Well, one shortcut is if you happen to have an old save, say from a previous expedition, that you're not using. You can cannibalize it, so to speak. There's also the option to make a backup of your save files before you give the ship, and then, after you quit the game, restore the backup. I made a video before the Worlds Part 1 update about making backups to prepare for the update. If you are on Xbox or on Switch, probably this method does not apply. For PlayStation, it might be difficult. Lastly, there is a method to keep your ship which works for all platforms, but it's a bit more tricky and must be executed carefully. Here's an example of how this works. First, you must join your friend's game and not vice versa. This will not work the other way around. When an NPC lands, go to your ship and enter it. Exit to create a restore point. Then go to the NPC while your friend is standing in front of your ship. Sell the ship to the NPC. Wait until your friend buys the ship from the NPC. Make sure the friend enters the ship and waits inside. Then go into your options menu. You will see there is an autosave and a restore point. Reload the restore point. This causes you to be disconnected from your friend's game, and he can then exit the ship and create a restore point in his save file, securing the ship for himself. When the restore point is reloaded, your ship is back in your inventory. That's it. If you found this useful, please hit that like button. See you again soon.